play a very important role there as apex predators. Their job in the ecosystem is to make sure that all the animals in their environment, their populations are maintained, they don't explode and cause any kind of damage. You guys might be familiar with what happens with deer, rats, rabbits, and raccoons. If their populations go unchecked, they can cause a lot of environmental damage. So their job is to make sure that those populations are nice and neat, they're clean, they don't have any, they don't get out of control and start exploding. Now to do this, they have a very powerful set of jaws. These guys have one of the strongest bites in the animal kingdom. These gators can exert a bite force of about 2,000 pounds per square inch. Now to put that in perspective, we grip with about 40 pounds per square inch, and we bite with about 100 pounds per square inch. So their bite force is easily 20 times that of ours. Now the reason why they need such a strong bite force is because these guys will go for months at a time without seeing a single bite of food. So they need to make sure that whatever they latch onto, it's going to stay in their mouth. They're not going to go through all the effort just to have their food escape from them and run away. So they develop that incredibly powerful bite force as well as a set of extremely sharp teeth. These guys have about 80 sharp cone-shaped teeth to ensure that whatever they latch onto is staying in their mouth. Now these teeth are replaced constantly their alligator's lifetime. These guys will go through about 3,000 teeth during their lifespan, which is about, I'd say, about 50 years in the wild and up to 80 years in captivity. These guys live for a very long time if they're treated right. Now you might be wondering what I'm feeding these guys is actually raw, rotten chicken. Now you might be thinking, Jimmy, you monster, why would you be feeding these poor gators this nasty, rotten food? Well, for starters, they actually prefer dead animal matter as opposed to live animal matter, mostly because, one, it's a lot easier to track this stuff down. Obviously, this goes down a pretty rank scent. Obviously, we would avoid this stuff. But alligators pretty much smell it, and they think it's an all-you-can-eat buffet. So they'll track that smell down to the source. These guys actually have a powerful sense of smell. They can detect prey from up to a mile away with that nose. So they can smell out that prey, they'll follow it to the source, and they can just drag it in. Like, it's not as big a deal as opposed to a live animal. They have to go through all the work of fighting it, trying to catch it, and stuff like that. With the dead animal, they can just drag it into the water and munch on that. So it's a lot easier to catch a dead animal than a live one. Also, it's a lot easier than the digestive system as well. These guys have some very energy efficient digestive systems, and it goes into a better function when this stuff is already degraded for them. So it's very soft, very mushy. It's pretty much already digested for them. So it's a little bit easier for them to digest that food as opposed to live animals, fresh meat, which is a little bit tougher on their digestive system. Now they will go after live prey if it's readily available. They will attack prey if it's nearby. What they'll do is they're not going to chase after their food like a lion or a tiger would. These guys are ambush hunters. They're going to sit and wait by the water's edge for prey to get close, like say a raccoon or another animal. Come close to the water's edge. These guys will stay very still, look like a rock or a log sticking out of the water. Wait for that animal to take, and they'll lash out of it with those powerful jaws. Now, this does have an incredibly powerful tail as well. The tail is the second strongest muscle in their body, after, of course, their jaws, and definitely the largest. They use that to great effect to launch themselves out of the water to grab their food. These guys can go from 0 to 20 miles per hour, which is the flick of a tail. They have incredibly powerful tail force, so they can launch themselves out of the water and grab that food. Now, you might be wondering why not all the alligators are coming up to the show. These guys over here just kind of sitting back waiting for food. It's because they're not sick or tired or dying or anything. It's probably because they're not motivated enough to come after to get this food. Like I said, these guys can go for months at a time without seeing a single bite of food. In fact, this big fellow right here could probably go for a full year without seeing a single bite of food. This is because they're incredibly energy efficient and they are cold-blooded animals. Now, us warm-blooded animals, although we are a lot more active than these guys, we can run for extended periods of time. These guys have very low stamina being cold-blooded animals. That being said, these guys are a lot more energy efficient. So we have to waste about 8% of the food we take in just to maintain our body temperature. That's why we need to eat 3 times a day, 7 days a week, sometimes snacks in between. These guys go for months at a time without seeing a single bite of food because they don't have to waste that energy to maintain their body temperature. They rely on the sunlight and the water and the warmer areas to do that for them. Now, this does come with a cost. Believe it or not, it does get cold here in South Carolina, so during that time it becomes very difficult for them to catch food. So during this time, they actually go through a special hibernation period called bromation. Now, during bromation, they do not eat unless it is warm enough, and they will not move unless it's absolutely necessary, a life or death situation. They're not into a full hibernation like a mammal would, like a squirrel or something. They actually they're still awake, they're still cognitive, but they will not move unless it is absolutely necessary. Hey, knock it off over there. Now, during this time, they will not eat. This is because their systems have shut down, including their digestive system. Their digestive system is pretty much completely shut off. So if they ate any food during bromation, they would just sit in their stomach and rot, and it could make them very sick. So we do not feed any of our alligators during the winter months. In fact, we just now started feeding them again. So they're coming out of that bromation period, and as you can see, that's why they're a little especially fierce right now, because they're pretty hungry. They haven't eaten in a pretty long time. Now, alligators are actually pretty social animals, believe it or not. These guys can communicate with each other to a limited extent. These guys can actually hiss at each other, let them know when they're threatened. If they feel like that other alligator is getting a little too close to them, they can hiss very loudly, let them know that they should back off before things start getting violent. They can also bellow during the mating season, which is right about now. Bellowing is a very loud, very low noise. You almost feel it more than you hear it. It kind of sounds like a lion's roar. Now to us, it sounds very intimidating, very scary. Probably back off, but to a female alligator, it pretty much sounds like a Justin Timberlake concert. They'll come flocking to that male alligator. If they're receptive, the female will actually bellow back, and they'll produce about 10 to 12 eggs after mating. Now, alligators, although they are very shy animals in the wild, they're very docile, they're very afraid of people and pretty much any other animal that's larger than themselves. That being said, mother alligators are extremely aggressive, extremely protective of her young. She'll guard that nest with her life. She'll make sure all the other alligators within their ecosystem are well away from her nest, as well as any other animals in general. Now, although baby alligators do look very cute, and it looks like it'd be very fun to pet them, pick them up, they'll start chirping when they feel like they're uncomfortable. They'll let their mother know that they're in trouble, and that mother alligator will not be afraid to tear apart any animal that comes close to her children, including a human being. So never approach a baby alligator unless you want to incur the wrath of its mother. Now I'm down to my last two pieces of food. I'm going to try and get a couple more good jumps out of these guys. Let's see if he's got the hungriest gator out here. Come on, buddy. Huh? I think this guy's give me pretty good jump. There you go. Oh, wow. All right, last piece. Let's see who the hungriest guy is. Huh? How about you? You're going the wrong way, buddy. Come on, buddy. Oh, wow. What was that?